Alright, welcome everybody, it's Brendan here. If you are new to the channel, I prioritize being a father first, running my businesses second during the critical moments in life, and the goal here is to maybe help you either leave a job that you absolutely hate or just grow your current side hustle, whatever it is you're working on at the time. So this is a 10 things that sold on eBay for the week of January, well, it's from January 8th to the 14th. I'm doing them in 7-day increments, starting from the 1st, so it might not be technically an official calendar week, but so let's take a look here. $24.75 in total sales, which sounds good, but really I'd like it to be in the $3,000 to $3,500 range. So sales are slow. They're slow. I know USPS just increased the rates on the 26th, even though this happened beforehand, so it wouldn't affect this particular week of sales. But I just feel like sales are slow. It's kind of like, not slumpy-ish, but this isn't a holiday hangover either. I felt like that through November and December as well. It's interesting. I've done Amazon, FBA. I have a private label that I still sell on Amazon, but I've kind of almost left it to die, if you will. So I've done the Amazon thing and currently doing the eBay thing. Amazon in the fourth quarter, particularly leading up to December, it gets crazy with sales. eBay, on the other hand, not so much. I feel like even though eBay sells a lot of new goods, if people are still shopping for used goods or collectibles for themselves, it's not, you don't necessarily see the massive spike that you see on Amazon during the fourth quarter. But if you were going to ask my opinion, and in another video, I'll do a maybe like a truth, like the truth behind Amazon FBA. There's a lot of things that I think people talk about when they're doing, eBay haul videos and that type of stuff, and they're pairing it with themselves selling on Amazon FBA. There's a lot of information that you kind of don't get that that I would like to give you. So we'll do a future video on Amazon FBA and kind of the truth behind it and why I stopped doing it. And there's always the chance that I could pick it back up. I don't like that company. I don't like their practices. I don't like how they treat sellers. It's sort of night and day when you're talking about how eBay treats their sellers in relation to how Amazon does. So maybe we'll get into that at another time. Anyway, here's 10 Bolos, 10 items to be on the lookout for. Some of these things you may have heard of before, some of them you may not have, but $24.75 in sales. And so here's the first one, Orbis Shoes. So anytime you see Orbis footwear, take a second look for one. The Goki by Orbis in particular, and again, before running this stuff through the app, I knew nothing about, I knew that Orbis was kind of like a Bolo shoe to look out for. The Goki style or the Goki by Orbis is not something that I had seen before, but ran the comps. The comps looked good. The shoe, this particular pair of shoes was in absolutely fabulous condition, and they looked great. A very firm, heavy shoe here for this slip-on. It must have been, I don't know, either super frigid or super wet outside, because, and I know I've said this in a previous video, I much prefer taking my photographs outside when it's overcast. So the fact that I was shooting these inside leads me to believe it was nasty out. But anyway, here's a look at this particular shoe, and as you can see, the soles were wonderful, and I think it says, yeah, Goki Footwear by Orbis right there. I don't know much about the numbers; you can barely read them. Maybe I put them in the description. I don't remember, but definitely look out for this type of shoe. The buyer paid full price, $49.99. They paid $10.50 to ship it and $4.23 tax for a total of $64.72, and it was worth it. These are really, really good shoes, so keep an eye out on them. Okay, the next one is Mountain Hardwear. Maybe it's hit or miss for some of you. I happen to do really, really well with Mountain Hardwear, where like if we're going to talk about North Face, like I'm going to say I leave over half of the North Face that I see in the stores now on the shelves, and only pick up, it's very few items that I'm sourcing and reselling from North Face. One of the reasons for that is they treat resellers awful, especially on the Amazon platform. Now, I sold an absolute ton of brand new North Face on Amazon when I was heavy into fulfillment by Amazon FBA, and but they have really cracked down on resellers on that platform in general, and I think to a certain extent they probably are doing the same thing on eBay. So I kind of stay away from a lot of it. Mountain Hardwear, on the other hand, I have a lot of success with for the stuff that I source. So I saw this particular jacket. I don't monkey fleece. That's just me doing my comps and seeing other people use that term. I don't know if that's the official term for this particular garment or not. But it was purple. It was fuzzy. It was cool looking, and the comps were good. So I picked it up, and sure enough, the buyer, it looks like they took a best offer, $36.79. And they paid $16.10 to have the item shipped, $2.21 in tax, for a total of $55.10 all in. I'm not even sure what these cost at retail. Like, I would imagine that they're competing with the Patagonias of the world and the North Face. North Face, their version of this like fuzzy one, it starts with an O, and I can't. It's slipping my mind at the time, but I would imagine the prices are comparable here at retail. So $55.10 all in, probably a pretty good deal still for this buyer, and great looking jacket. So keep your eye out for that. All right. Classic case. I'm at a Goodwill. The thing looks unique. I check the bottom. It's Churchill, Maiden, Staffordshire, England. I ran the comps, and on this particular piece, the style obviously is Blue Willow. The Blue Willow teapots by Churchill is a Bolo. I don't know if there's a Blue Willow pattern on other things that they produced. It's possible, but Blue Willow, the teapot in particular, that's a Bolo. So when I saw it and I ran the comps looked great. I picked it up. I should say what I paid for the item was probably no more than $4.99. I don't recall. Mountain Hardwear jacket, I think I paid $5.99. I think that's what the price was at Goodwill, and then the shoes are $4.29 after tax, $4.61. If I forgot to give you that information before. So this thing was no more than $4.99. Buyer paid full price, $34.99. They paid $8.30 to have it shipped, and $2.60 to in tax. So for a total of $45.89. And I believe that they left feedback and were just in love with the piece. So be on the lookout for this particular style, the Blue Willow, made by Churchill. Let me see if I can get you the stamp. That's what the stamp looks like right there. Mouse over. Oops. Here we go. Well, if it'll let me. There. That's a better picture of it right there. So Churchill, made in Staffordshire, England. You can see the England stamp right there. A really nice piece. Very clean. No chips. No cracks. Beautiful pattern. So yeah, $5.35 after tax for that item, and it sold for full price. Okay, these I've had forever. I have probably 20. I know it says 12 available. I think I have even more than that. It's a lithograph done by Dave Pacheco. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know who this individual is, but when I saw them, there was a huge stack of them, and I think I bought them over a year ago. And then they sat in my basement for a while. I just never got around to getting them listed. Finally, not too long ago, I started getting them listed, and I've sold off a few of them. I paid $1.99 each for them, and like I said, I think I have even 20. I may even have more than 20. This particular one, I took a best offer of $15. So the buyer paid 15, and then they paid, I think I charged $3.99, so they're $18.99 all in. They did not pay tax on this item, but you can see it's a Winnie the Pooh lithograph signed, and then at the bottom here, the Pooh and Pals text is done in Swarovski crystals. And if you look on the back here, is a picture of the barcode, and then a certificate of authentication or verification that they are in fact Swarovski crystals. So a neat little find. They sell slow. They do sell. There's not a ton of them listed on the marketplace, so you know, one sale a month, one sale every couple of months. I can handle that. This is another thrift store find right here. Ralph. So the things I liked about this, and before I talk about what I liked about it, I should probably say that I don't buy a lot of Ralph Lauren Polo in the thrift store, but some things worked in my favor with this particular garment. We were getting out of, like, getting past the holidays, so we're going to be moving into the spring season. Okay, so it was a yellow shirt, the size double XL, and the fact that it was brand new. All three of those things were working to my benefit, where I might not normally have even picked this shirt up, which is crazy to some of you. I bought it in these instances, and it did sell for full price, $29.99. If you look at the tag, I don't know what the tag says here price-wise. The MSRP, which I don't think they always go by, I think it's either $85 or $95. So, you know, you see that, and I flat lay them on, okay, $85 right there. It says classic fall yellow, even though I think it's more appropriate for the spring. It's the tag there. Flat laid on the deck with measurements. I keep it very, very simple. I used to dress, and I still, on certain garments, I'll dress them on a mannequin, but overcast day, flat lay outside, it's for me, it works well. I can do it quickly. Putting it on the mannequin takes a little bit more time, but this works well. So if you're like trying to figure out how to expedite listing your clothing, just do it like this. It works for me, it works fine. So $29.99, they paid, what did I charge? $3.99 to have it shipped and $2.40 in tax. So that's $36.38 all in on a garment that was, you know, $85. A good deal for both of us. I paid, I think men's shirts are $4.99. So where does that come to? $5.35 after tax. Pretty good sale. Here's another good example of an item I wouldn't normally purchase because the shoes didn't look like they were in that great of condition. If you look at the midsoles here, there's dirt here, and I clean a lot of my shoes for whatever reason. I don't think I did, or maybe I did for this pair, and then let them dry, and they still came out looking like this. But the Bolo here is Vans Star Wars. They sell, and they sell well. I'm really surprised that these actually sold for the price that they sold for. This is just a very, you know, certain Vans styles, I should say. Some of them, if we're talking about the Star Wars brand in particular, they'll have Darth Vader on it, or maybe some of them will have Yoda on it. The Stormtrooper one seemed like it wouldn't be one of the popular styles, but you know, the shoe did eventually sell. So I was, I suppose, wise to pick it up. I don't know. But in here again, it must have been, I mean, I see the shadows of the sun outside, so I don't know what provoked me to take the pictures indoors, but they sold. What can I tell you? I'll take it. But they weren't in spectacular condition, and I guess there's a market of people who are okay with like the used, well-worn look of the shoe, whether it's Vans or Converse. There's a market for that. So kept them the way it was, and they sold. I'm trying to get to the soles here. The soles were in really, really good condition right there. And then there's the tag there, men's 9.5. Vans Star Wars, if you see them, not only if you see them in the store, but if you see them and they're not in the greatest condition, look them up anyway, because these ended up selling for $25.99, yeah, full price, $25.99, $11.95 to ship, and no tax, so $37.94 all in on a pair of shoes that you know, a lot of people might pass up. So keep your eye out for Vans Star Wars. Okay, so this item, these are basically impossible to find. So when I saw the train, there's certain things here that work really well to your benefit as a reseller when you see a big item like this. The Goodwills of the world, Salvation Army, these are big items. They don't necessarily want to ship them, so they're a lot less likely to pull it from their donations and send it right online. So this thing came right out, and they will also price something like this to move because it's big and it takes up space, right? They don't have an infinite amount of space in their retail stores. So price it right, get the thing out of there. We don't care if it works or not. So this particular item, when you look up the comps for vintage, like Little Tykes Vintage Ride-On train, there are comps, and they're very, very high priced. So I don't think I paid more than $9.99 for this item. It may have even been less than that. I don't recall. So $10.75 after tax was 7.5% tax in my county here. The item sold for $149.99. The buyer paid over $100 to have it shipped. So $103.05 to have the item shipped, and then $16.77 in tax for a total of $269.81, which is crazy to me, especially since it needed a new battery, which you can buy right on eBay. It's not the problem. But let me get you the bigger pictures here. The train was it's in fantastic condition for its age. So it's one of those things that probably didn't get a ton of use and then just sat and collected dust for however many years. But I took very clear pictures of the wiring here. There's the battery. Overall, the stickers weren't peeling. Like it looked great. It was a great piece. I don't recall how long I held on to this item. I had it for, I'm going to say probably 2 or 3 months. But the right buyer came along and was willing to pay that like crazy shipping cost, and now they have their items. So when you see these big items, don't pass them up. You could try your local marketplace, right? You like Craigslist or Facebook to sell them, but eBay works too. So don't pass up big items here. A pretty big return on a very small spend for this particular item. All right, next one. Okay, Lego is obvious, right? Interesting thing about the buyer is this was their first transaction, so they were like maybe checking out as a guest. I noticed that when I was doing the research on what they paid. But Emma's House, this is like an early friend set. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued or retired. I got this stuff in a lot of, when I'm up in the morning, sometimes I get on Facebook Marketplace, in particular now because I'm still looking for a desk to fill the spot behind me, along with all the other stuff I want to get up on the wall. So just bear with me as we decorate. But there was a woman complaining, and she had like 9 or 10 Lego sets listed. And on one of the ones in particular, she was like, look, I've had 2 no-shows. I'm getting kind of tired of this. Like, here's the price for this item and blah, 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 blah. So I messaged her like 6 in the morning, something ridiculous. And I said, hey, why don't you give me all of them? Cut your price in half. I'll take them all, and you won't have to deal with any more nonsense. She messaged back within a couple of minutes, yes, okay, just take them all. So in all, there were 9 Lego sets, and I think I paid $95 for them. So whatever she had listed for $190, something like that. And I said, hey, I'll give you $95, cut them in half, I'll take them all. Wipe your hands with Facebook Marketplace. She said deal. It was a great deal. I came and picked them up. She was super sweet. And this was one of the sets in the lot. So $95 for me, all in, on Facebook Marketplace for all of these sets. This one sold, like I said, to a buyer it looked like it was their first transaction. Well, first or second. They paid the full price of $64.99. They paid $13.40 to have it shipped, $6.47 in tax for a total, do I have this right? Yeah, Emma. A total all in for the buyer of $84.86. Let's talk about Lego for a second here. For me, when I'm trying to list things, I'm trying to do them fast. Lego, for me, is not fast to list. So if you're like trying to work what your hourly rate is based on the amount of time you're putting in, which every one of you should, if you're running this business or you want to make it a business, you got to know what your hourly rate is, or have a very good idea of what you think you're making per hour. Lego will kill that, because for me, when I get it and it's disassembled, we have to put the thing together. So thankfully, my older daughter helps me put these things together. We put them together. That helps me verify that all the pieces are there, and then I take them all apart and disassemble them with her so that the buyer can put it together. That takes a long time. So it's almost like killing two birds with one stone, because even though it takes a ton of time to put together and you're kind of killing your hourly rate there because of the amount of time, I mean, it takes a couple hours, right, to build a big set like that, at least, even when you have two people doing it. It's bonding time for her and I. So it's something that I'm willing to kind of bend on from a business perspective, because I kill two birds with one stone. I'm getting stuff done for the business, gives me an opportunity to take really good pictures, and I get time with my daughter, which is honestly more important than doing all of this. So yeah, do you have to do that? Do you have to like put the entire thing together and take pictures of it? Maybe not. I just like doing it because it, to me, it just looks better, but you certainly don't have to. So these are the pictures I took. It takes me 2 minutes to take the pictures, 2 hours to build the thing, but there was there. One more point about this before I move on to the next one. Every single set out of the 9 sets had every single piece not only there, but Lego leaves extra pieces in there. I got all of the extra pieces too. I mean, not a single manual was missing, not a single piece was missing from any of the sets. So I got lucky there, because that could have been the case where like you're missing minifigures, which would be really dilute the value of the item. So you have to kind of be careful when you're buying Legos that are used, because there is that chance that they won't come with all of the pieces, and then you're kind of you're out money you should have otherwise been making. So I'm very fortunate. All of the sets that were the vast majority of them, or all of them, had every single piece. I don't recall any of them missing anything, so kind of lucky there. All right, next one here. This is a Samsung SC-D303 silver camcorder with the cord. This did not come with a tape or an SD card. It just powered up and played. It was in excellent condition. It was $9.99, so I paid $10.75 for this at a Goodwill. And I want to make another point about this one in particular here once we get into the numbers, but it was it was immaculate. It looked like it was brand new. And so, I took some pictures here, a picture of it powering up here, showing the buyer that the eject button worked, and it was in fantastic condition. The buyer ended up paying, they paid full price, $59.99 plus $8.30 to have it shipped, and then $5.46 in tax, for a total of $73.75 all in. Now, on this one in particular, the Goodwill that I bought this from, basically overnight, sometime in maybe December, eliminated their return policy on electronics. So, and I had to find this out the hard way, which was like a pain in the drain. So this Goodwill doesn't take electronics back. Even though I was able to kind of test it right there and see that it would at least power up, there are a lot of times where I will go into this Goodwill and I will still buy an electronic, and even if I can't test it at the store, because I have a relationship with a professional relationship with the management staff at this particular location. I'm nice to them when I see them. I strike up conversation with them. Of course, I buy, you know, a ton of stuff from them too, so I'm a good customer. But there will be times where I will buy something, and it's kind of like a wink wink thing where if it doesn't work, the general manager has given me the indication that I can bring it back as long as I do it within 24 hours, as long as I only do it with her, so that like word doesn't spread and it gets out to customers and it's something that they can't control. But I have sort of like an in or a little bit of a buffer there when I'm purchasing electronics from this store because of the relationship that I have with these people. So build relationships. I know it seems kind of obvious to say you got to build relationships in this world to kind of get by or whatever, but it's really true. And I mean, I don't always follow my own advice, but in this case, it's really, really nice to have somebody who was like, the thing didn't work, or there was something about this you didn't like, go ahead and return it. And of course, you know, it's really like more like an exchange, this item for this item, because every time I'm in there, I end up getting something. So build relationships with the staff. Don't obviously give them a ton of information about what you do because you are competing with them at the end of the day. But build a relationship, and you know it's nice to know that I can go in there, even though you can't return electronics in that store per their policy, that they'll actually let me do that. So I'm fortunate that I have that rapport and that relationship with them, and I encourage you people, when you're in the stores, do the same thing. In, you know, simple act of being nice and being kind will get you what you want at the end of the day. So anyway, this was a good flip. $60, $10.75 after tax I paid, and we're all set. Okay, last one. This is a Brooks Adrenaline GTS 18 pair of shoes, women's, multicolor. They were in great condition. They're fun looking, and let me get you a shot of the soles here. Yeah, I mean the soles are in great shape. I'm trying to get a bigger image. Here we go. Soles were in great shape. Insoles were different, but I disclosed that. They were like a softer Dr. Scholl's insole. So the previous owner must have just wanted maybe a little bit more bounce than the original insoles gave. But great shoe. Comps are good on the GTS 18 for women. This was a size 7.5. They paid full price, $39.99, $9.45 to ship, for a total of $49.44 all in. I paid $4.61 after tax. So another good flip. All right, I think that's 10. That's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that when new material pops up, you are the first to get notified. And I thank you. We'll see you in the next video.